Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 18th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here, the premium. Links are getting sent out. All right, so looks like we are good to go here. So as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. All right, going down to the 8 hour. Going down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. I'm just going to mark down these farther ones, kind of pointless. So 30-minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys. So looking at liquidity over here, we've got the closest level of liquidity above at 39,281. Looks like that's where price pushed up with the 5:30 news here. And the closest level below at 39,187. So closest level above 39,281. Closest level below 39,187. The volatility is pretty low right now, currently at 7 ATR. So we'll see what happens when the market opens up in about 5 minutes. So there goes liquidity right there. I'll come back to that later. Here's a clean chart. I'm gonna go over here and mark up 6:30, mark up 8 o'clock, go up to the 4-hour time frame. The structure there, going down to the 1 hour. All right, so price is currently ranging right now between the 4-hour resistance and the 1-hour support. So this is kind of what we got going on right here. Let's go over to our main chart. We had one news event for today at 5:30. We had a couple news events actually. So we had a high impact news event at 5:30, 5:55 red book, and 6:15 medium impact. So let's mark that up real quick. So we'll color that pink. Let's put 5:30 impact. We got the 555 red book, which is down the middle as well. And we have the 615 medium impact. So they're all kind of in the same area, which is good. And it looks like that's about it. So the volatility here is still pretty low, guys. As you guys can see, market's not really moving too much. So I would possibly be looking for price to push up. So I'm looking for possible levels entry right here, the 50 mark. That's like probably the first opportunity, if possible. Other than that, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens here. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 18th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. We've marked up news over here from 5:30, which was the high impact news. We had some low impact news over here at 5:55. Then we had medium impact news at 6:15. Later today, we have news at 7 o'clock and 7:30. So 7 o'clock, 7:30 is what to look for. As you guys can see from liquidity over here, liquidity is currently above at 39,281. The closest level below is at 39,187. So it looks like price is probably going to break above here pre-market. Probably won't be able to get levels right there. And we'll see what happens here. So currently right now, price looks like it is currently in a sideways move. We'll see what happens here on open. And then once we have enough movement, we'll determine whether we're going to be focusing on directional movement or sideways strategies. So we'll see what happens here. But all right, guys, market's going to open in about a few seconds. There's a triple confluence right there that Nick mentioned, but it happened pre-market. Volatility is too low. Personally, I probably wouldn't really mess with it too much. Also, setting up for levels if it does close above, but I'm not going to take the opening candle, of course. So this is what I was looking for, the levels. You can see right there, it's on the opening candle. So obviously, I'm gonna let that go. I get a random spike of volatility here, but it looks like it probably would have played through. Yeah. So it came down, filled it, shot right back up. That was the opening candle. Mark opening price across the board. All right, so we're getting a bullish direction right here. Price is inching towards the liquidity above right there, as you guys can see. Hasn't hit it yet, but was aiming for it right there. Here goes price corrects back down. I hate when that happens. So there's an issue. Well, I don't know if there's an issue, but there's a connectivity issue with the with my Ninja that disconnected and reconnected. It looks like it's fine now, though. All right, so we got price crashing back down. So looking at this here, it looks like we might be in for a sideways market again today, which is completely fine. If that's the case, we'll just be looking for V1 variations and CV entries. But you guys can see price came up to the to basically this spike right here, rejected off the news candle, came right back down super duper hard. So this is why I say to wait for the market to stabilize a little bit before looking for entries, because you don't want to get caught in these fake outs. This is why I decided not to take the levels on open, because stuff like this happens. So, I mean, no surprise here. We are going to continue following it, and we'll see if there's any other opportunities here for us to take. So there could be a possible CV entry right here, guys. If this candle closes green. The volatility is just a little low here, but this could be a CV entry if you guys are looking to take it. I mean, personally, with that pending sell signal that just came up, I don't know if I'll be able, if I'm looking to take that here. This might not even be a CV entry if it closes too high. And actually, I'm not going to take it because it's touching the opening price. So there goes a red flag right there. But this could be a possible CV entry right here, depending if you want to go for a 10-20, 15-15. I think a 10-20 would be safer, but I think a 15-15 could probably play through as long as the volatility stays high enough. So here goes a CV entry right here. Again, I wouldn't take it because it is touching the opening price right there. It's considered a red flag. And there goes the CV entry right there for a full TP. So if you guys took that, nice work. If you guys didn't, again, held off on that because of it touching opening price. Solid. So Sadie over here caught the CV entry. Nice work. Again, you guys have two options. You can take it for a 10-20 or you can take it for a 15-15. 15-15 is a little tricky because of the volatility, but the volatility is picking up a little bit. So I think the 15-15 could work. For me personally, I probably would have taken the 15-15. But there goes a first entry for today, it looks like. We also had a breakout, or sorry, not a breakout, a PRB entry that came up right here as well. So market opened right here at 6:30, rejected off. Actually, I take that back. There's no space consolidation yet. So we had the rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, but there's no space consolidation. So if price comes back down for a retest, this could be possible opportunity for a PRB entry. There is no breakout V3 here yet. Here's our clean chart. Price is pushing up to the 4-hour resistance. We have a new support level down here. So the clean chart's looking a little messy right now. But it does look like we are in the sideways market. So I'll probably be focusing on V1 variations and CV entries for the day because price is going sideways. I mean, if price push is super high, maybe a levels entry, but again, I don't think we'll be able to take a levels entry right here because there's all these sessions up here. So if price pushes up to the 300 right here, it's not going to work. Price would have to push up to the 350 up here. So we'll follow this through. Like I said, I don't think we're going to have any levels entries over here because of the obviousness of these sessions up there. This could be a possible PRB entry, guys. We had a rejection right here, space consolidation on this green candle, and this could be the possible PRB entry. Not taking this one. I don't really like taking the breakout entries as much. It's also touching opening price, so it's an area of manipulation. But I just wanted to mark it up for you guys there as the PRB. So the PRB is currently running. I'll use this as a confluence for a bullish entry, but not necessarily going to be entering this as a standalone breakout for the PRB. Main reason is because it's touching the opening price right here. That's considered a red flag, of course, as you guys know. Price can be easily manipulated around there. But there goes the PRB. Looks like it's pushing up to its TP. Price is pushing past the liquidity over here. So the first liquidity didn't get hit, but the second one over here did. And it looks like the third one as well. So there goes two levels of liquidity right there. Pushing through. So there was a levels opportunity here, but again, guys, because it was at the sessions, fortunately, holding off on that right there. You guys can see how price gets manipulated around these red flags. Nice. Max took the PRV for 15 points. Solid work there. Yeah, if you guys don't feel comfortable for the full 25, you guys can just go in for 15 if you'd like. You know, that's what Max did. Max went for 15. Rashida took it for 10. It's just up to preference. You know, TP stop losses are really up to you. The strategy set at a 25-25, but again, this strategy was set when the volatility was super high. Volatility is kind of low right now. So if you don't feel comfortable going for the full move, then I think a 15-15 is great. You can get in and out pretty quickly. Nice, yeah. So Max City, I try to take the breakouts for 15-15 instead of 25-25, which I completely agree with. There is a possible opportunity here for an MPS, guys. So the MPS still hasn't came up yet. The only problem here is that price is overextended, right? So if you measure from this lower low to here, price is up 100 points already. So that's a little overextended for, I guess, our liking for the most part. But if you guys are looking for an MPS, there could be one. You know, what I'll do here is I'll open up another levels, and I will have this at 10 mark, of course. And I can just turn it off when I don't need it, in case you guys want to see where the MPS is at. So if this rejects back, the MPS would actually happen at the 300 mark. It's at a red flag, so obviously it's too tricky for you to take the entry right there. So I probably wouldn't mess with the MPS right here if you guys are looking to take it. The red flags here are like the most important thing to avoid. If you're going to avoid anything, it's going to be the red flags, especially with sessions. Looks like not yet. So we tested the sessions right here. Now it is continuing up. So if this is the case, I mean, we might be in for a directional market. It might not even be a sideways market. It looks sideways here initially when it came back down, but now that we're continuing to follow, I mean, price looks like it continued climbing up from here. There's another liquidity that got hit above right here. So basically a bunch of liquidity here, which has gotten hit already. Three levels of liquidity right there, all hit. We had the PRV over here hit for full TP. There's no breakout V3 continuation or breakout V3 is up yet. Price is actually pushed up past the resistance. We're getting a double body rejection right here. This could be a reversal pattern back to the downside for retracement. So possible retracement right here. If you guys are looking for the MPS, if the candle closes red, the MPS could possibly happen at this 30 mark right here. Otherwise, looks like we might get a levels at the 50 mark. So I'll be watching for the levels up here. Yeah, exactly. CJ said the 300 level is too hot with those two sessions. I agree. So we might have opportunity right here for levels, guys, at the 50. So I want to make sure there's no red flags around this area. That looks fine. So I'll be watching for this levels entry right here, guys. At the 350 mark. Again, if it doesn't fill within like the first two candles, then I'm going to cancel it. Volatility here is pretty strong. If it pushes up strong like this, I don't know if it'll fill, but I'm look for it. So the candle is closing in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Orders
I got my buy limit set right there. Again, if it doesn't fill within the first two candles,
submitted.
I will be canceling it because it'll just be a little too high. So if we don't use it here, we could probably use it on the next one. I mean, if anything, it might go up to the 400 over here. So it's pushing up pretty high. If it pushes up closer to the 400, I'm just going to cancel it. There's no reason to have a pending order that far back for retracement. If it does retrace back that far, it's probably going to reverse it for us. It's not looking like it's going to fill. It's way too high right now. Let's see. So if this here doesn't fill, I'm going to cancel it, guys. It's probably not going to because it's so high. It's probably going to consolidate here for a bit. Yeah, I'm not expecting it to fill. So I'm going to cancel my order, guys. Took that out.
Order canceled.
So my order's been canceled. I don't think this is going to come down and fill. If it does fill, it's going to drop super hard. Probably come down. So I cancel it. I'm not in the position, guys. Or there's no pending order for me here. I'll follow it. So we'll follow it here. We'll see if it plays through, but I canceled my order already. Yeah. So I'm glad I canceled it. So you guys can see right here, when it pushes too far out, there's no point in having a pending order there. Because if you have a pending order, if it comes down this far, it's probably going to reverse, right? You typically want to fill when it's like right here. So the pattern that you're looking for is something like this: push up, fill, go right back up. But it is, for me personally, I think it was a bit overextended. So I kind of felt that it wasn't going to, I mean, it would have been nice if it filled right away. It pushed up about like 35 points. It would have filled it right away. So if it filled and went straight up, great, but it didn't. So I'm glad we canceled that one there. So this level here still hasn't been used. We can still technically use this if price climbs back up. Yeah, no, definitely. Say a great call, Sean. Nick said might get a CV, possibly. Yeah. CJ's asking if we factor overextension in for levels entries. We typically try to. I mean, not always, because sometimes price might just be super directional. But it's not something that's in the rules yet. But yeah, I think overextension between the levels is what would be more concerning versus the complete overextension. Because like, for example, here, if price pushes close to the next level, then I'd consider that, okay, that's a little too overextended. And I would just cancel like I did here, which I'm glad we did, because this was kind of obvious. It was kind of expected. So now that we're having price coming down, we have a couple things to look out for. Possibly a CV, possibly a V1 variation if we get a retracement signal. So if we get a sell signal here to confirm the retracement, we'll be able to identify the correction back up. But again, in order for us to have the retracement, we need to have a sell signal there, a confirmed retracement. So we got some team profits over here. We got Natasha with a profit of 295 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. Some more profits from Natasha, 287. And some more profits here as well on our second account, total profit of 335. Nice work, Natasha. Great work, guys. So solid work so far. We will continue to follow along. To see if any opportunities come up here. So we have a pending sell signal. I preferably I would like the sell signal to close, because the sell signal will confirm the retracement. If the sell signal doesn't close, I mean, price can probably continue retracing. But if the sell signal closes, this will confirm that price has maybe hit the bottom at that point and it's ready to swing back up. All right, Natasha, we'll see you back here tomorrow. So Natasha's done for the day. She locked in about 600 for the day across across all of her accounts. So that's pretty solid. Yeah, if you guys have a goal for the day, hit your goal, and then you can always wrap it up. So you have a possible CV entry right here. So I will be looking to take the CV entry right here if it closes. Closing in 5, 4, 3, 2. Never mind, I'm not taking it, guys. The candle right there came down like super hard, so I wasn't sure if it was going to close at the green candle. I don't like when the CVs come up like this. So if it closed above over here, I would have taken it, but you guys can see how it came very, very small at the last second. And unfortunately, it just didn't qualify as like the type of CV entry that I was looking for. So it looks like we're back in a sideways market. It's not really moving as directional anymore. When you guys are taking these CV entries, V1 variations, you got to make sure that the candle close is like pretty obvious. It's got to close like a solid candle. When it closes down like a doji like this, it's not really worth the risk because, I mean, it could go your way, it could not, but it's not really worth the risk in a situation like this. I'm glad I paid attention to it because I was just looking at the countdown and I wasn't looking at how it was closing until, obviously the very last second. It's probably going to push up, but not in the position here. Yeah, it's just not worth the risk. All right, so as price gets closer to the sessions right here, price may come down, bounce off the sessions, come back up. But it looks like we're in a pretty flat market here. So looks like we have a new resistance up here. All right, so it looks like this might be the range. So the range is probably going to bounce between this resistance and this support right here. Just going back and forth right now. Here is our levels chart. So like I said earlier, guys, this level, this 350 could still be used because we didn't use it yet earlier. So if price decides to climb back up and go up higher, we can still use this level right here. I think I have mine preset to it still, yeah. So my basic entry is still preset to the 350 right there. The only problem is a sideways movement right here, right? In order for me to want to take some sort of entry at the 50 mark, I would need to see a pretty strong candle. Like it would have to be a strong push to the upside. Still waiting for that sell signal to close. It still hasn't closed yet. All right. So this could be possibly setting up for another CV entry. Again, these candles, you have to watch them close because the last second they can come down. I probably wouldn't recommend taking this one because the previous candle here is touching the sessions. So this is still up for manipulation, right? You want to be careful around the sessions. All right, so the only entries that have come up today, guys, were the liquidity. So 3 liquidities over here that hit full TP, PRB over here that hit full TP. There's no breakout V3 yet. And no other scalps here at the moment. Possible CV entry right there, guys. So the CV did close. Looks like it already hit TP. Yeah. So it's a quick little move right there. Jamie said made my goal. See everyone Thursday. Yeah, definitely, Jamie. So Jamie's done for the day as well. This was a CV entry, the CV pattern that we were looking for. Again, like I said, it's kind of risky because the previous candle here, that's pretty much attached to it, touched the sessions, which makes it obviously a tricky move. But that right there was a CV entry. Let's see. Tom's asking, you guys are taking the day off tomorrow, right? Yeah. So tomorrow is Juneteenth, guys. The market is technically closed. I mean, it's partially open, but for the most part, it's closed. So I don't really recommend anyone trade tomorrow. I've blown accounts on Juneteenth in the past, not because of not because of bad trading, but because my trades carried over to the next day. That was back then when we were trading with FTMO, and they don't allow overnight trades, so or over holiday trades. I'm not sure what the rule is of Apex, but I just wouldn't risk it because I've lost accounts due to trading on that specific holiday. It was the first year Juneteenth was an official holiday, so I didn't know. And yeah, I kind of got screwed. So yeah, if you guys want to trade tomorrow, the volatility is probably going to be low because it is a holiday. It's a bank holiday, so market makers probably not going to be playing the market tomorrow. Um, and we won't be trading it either. So it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm hoping we get an entry today, at the very least. All right, so price is just going sideways here, as you guys can see. This is, I mean, it's literally a sideways move right now. This price continues to go sideways here. So there was two CV entries that came up today so far. There was one right here. There's one right here. Two CV entries. I mean, these are the strategies of choice for a sideways market. As you guys can see, price is going sideways here. So CVs, V1 variations, and high-level momentum scalps would probably be your best option. The volatility it's a little mixed. We're getting some volatility here, then it dies down. Currently, right now, it's pretty dead. So you can see over here from the clean chart, price is kind of consolidating between the 350 price and the 300 price down here. Here is the clean chart. Yeah, price is just rejecting off the 4 hour resistance. So this was the 4 hour resistance pre-market. It turned into the 4 hour support because price broke above it, retested, shot up higher. This is now the 4 hour support level. So it's just consolidating around this area. Price is going to break out eventually. We have news over here at 7 o'clock, so that's probably when price is going to move. The news at 7 o'clock is retail inventories for autos and business inventories month over month. Plus the Fed is going to be speaking as well, Fed barking. So we'll see. Forecast to be positive news. I guess we just got to sit tight. It's a sideways market. This is a typical summer market, guys. So there's nothing unusual here about this type of market. This is just how it moves during the summer. We had a lot of this during the spring, which is not normal. In the spring, typically the market's moving directional, but we had a sideways market pretty much all throughout spring. And then again, right here, another sideways market through summer, which is actually normal. All right, so we got nothing here right now. Price is kind of trying to climb back up, but we do have news at 7 o'clock, so not really going to risk it too much as we wait for the news here to pass. Still haven't gotten that sell signal yet either. So you guys can see how price is having trouble getting past the sessions, right? That's I mean, this is a clear example of like why you want to avoid the sessions. Because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this spikes right back up and get a wick off it. The sessions lines up with the 4-hour support. So I mean, it's an even bigger reason to avoid that area there. Because it's the 4-hour support, it's the Asia high, New York high, and it's around the whole number as well as the 300. So price broke below it finally. We did get that sell signal. That's finally what we were waiting for. We'll see right here if the manipulation happens because it is getting closer to 7 o'clock. The news is forecasted to be positive. So, I mean, this here might just fake out right here, consolidate, and then spike back up. But it doesn't matter to us. I mean, the trade can go, or the price can go in either direction. Right, if price comes down here, that's fine. I'll look for levels down here. Take the entry off that. So it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just kind of curious to see what happens here with the news candle. So we got news in about a minute. Yeah, Sadie said back to open maybe. I could see that. Crawl its way back to open here. News happens. Spikes back up. Or news happens and price climbs down further. Right? Either way, it's fine with us. So trying to come back to open right here. It's got about a minute till news. But again, so price drops down lower, that's fine. So we'll be able to take the entry down here. I mean, technically, you can even take it below this point right here. There's not really many red flags around here. So back to open right there. The only problem here is the news. So we got the news right here in about 15 seconds. Projected directly off the news opening price. All right, here goes the news candle. So price is pushing up. It was probably positive news. Let's take a look. Yeah, news was positive, just like the anticipated, or it was actually neutral. So it wasn't super positive. I mean, it is positive in general, but it's for the most part neutral. So you can see price is having trouble getting past the sessions again right here. Again, we don't really care what's happening, around this area. We just need price to push out of this area. So price wants to climb up, that's fine. Push up, take entry right there. Price wants to push down, that's fine too. So we have the divergence right here, Nick, the one that Nick typically looks for. The only problem here is that it's right at the sessions. Again, so here's a clear example of why you avoid the red flags, right? If you guys are not familiar with the red flags are any lines or any colored lines that go from left to right, any horizontal lines here. The green line is going to be the New York high low. The purple line is going to be the Asia high low. Pink line is going to be news. Blue line is going to be opening price. Those are things you want to avoid because you can see how price gets easily manipulated right at those points, right? You don't want to mess with those points there because obvious. So that said, we have to wait for price to push out of this area. And if price wants to sit within this area, that's fine too. It's fine. We'll be looking for some CV entries, V1 variations. This is kind of expected for a holiday week, right? Holiday weeks are typically like this. You get the same back and forth movement all throughout. So we got price trying to climb up right here. I mean, you guys can see here, it's a little more obvious on the clean chart. So this is basically a fake out. You guys see how the fake out happened right here? This is a movement. Price faked out right here. And it's back into the consolidation right here. It's like this never happened. Just the same pattern pretty much repeating itself. You can see here more obvious. So see how price faked out below the support? Price came above, consolidated, fake out right here, came back to the support, and now it's back to where it was earlier. It's like this drop here was all fake. So they just dropped it here to lure in some sellers. Now they wiped them out. Price is back in the consolidation. So just be careful for the fake outs. If you guys are looking for entries, taking entries around this area is fine. You can trade above this area, but be careful if your entry is below this point or above this point here. Because you're probably going to get faked out, right? Price will probably go down here, fake out, come back up, come up right here, fake out, come back down. So just something to be careful for. So we'll see again right here if price decides to fake out again or if it decides to actually drop. The thing that I would be okay with is if it came down here, right? Because this could provide for an opportunity for a levels entry down below at the 250 mark. But again, just be careful for the fake out here. Basically double fake outs here. There's fake out, fake out. This is why you got to be very cautious about like which direction you decide to trade in because the thing is you can be lured in for a sell here and it fakes out, and you can be lured in for a buy here and it also fakes back out. So it doesn't really matter which direction you're trading. You can get faked out in either direction. Again, right here, you can be faked out here again. So I wouldn't mess with any trades around this area right here. I'd wait for it to drop a bit lower. All right, so I'll be looking at that 250 level down there for a sell. A sell off the levels, of course. Again, price is rejecting directly off the opening price. It's just a bit of a messy area here. So one of two things are going to happen here. Price is either going to fake out and swing back up, or price is going to break below and continue dropping, right? So there's two scenarios here. This can fake out, pull back up, or this can drop below and continue dropping from here. Sorry, guys, 1 second. All right, so yeah, like I said, there's two different scenarios here. I'm okay with two scenarios. I like two scenarios. Two scenarios is fine. I don't like 3 or 4 scenarios. I like whether price is going to go up or whether price is going to go down. Right? Two different things there. So price drops down lower, it'll probably try to retest the high impact news right here, right? From earlier this morning, right? Bounce, retest, come down further. Still watching it here. All right, so we may have an opportunity for levels down here. Again, you would have to wait for it to actually close because the way that the candles are moving here, not super smooth. The only problem here that I would say is that it's touching the opening price. But again, I would need price to like for sure close down here. I can't have it like bounce back and forth because that's where you get manipulated. So I'm actually okay if the candle here doesn't actually close below. And on the next candle, if it drops down, that's perfectly fine. If it closes below the opening price, but the next one doesn't touch it, then that's even better. So again, right here, possible drop down, possibly not. Yeah, Rashida said she wants a 200 mark. I think the 200 mark would be a lot safer as well. So if this here doesn't move at all, and we just get a slow drop to the downside, then I'm probably gonna avoid it as well. Because you need volatility for this entry. You can't have like these candles and just go sideways, right? So I'm with you too, Rashida. If there's no volatility here and this continues to just, go sideways like it's going right now, it's not really worth the risk. Just wait for it to drop down lower for a better confirmation. And this thing's had a pending sell signal for a long time now. So nothing there yet. It's not looking like it's going to close below. Yeah. So again, the candle would have to close pretty strong, guys. I'm not going to take it if it's like this because you don't want price to fill your order and then just go sideways, right? You want it to be quick. You want it to come down, fill your order, and come right back down your TP. You just want a quick break, retest, and continuation. So I'm probably going to hold off on this over here. Lamal's asking, can I ask a question? How would this be an entry if it is touching opening price? So that's exactly what I said right now, Lamal. I said I don't want to take it if it's touching opening price, but I said if the candle here was below it and it dropped without touching opening price, that's what I'd be looking for. Does that make sense, Lamal? Because I wasn't looking for it to touch opening price. I was looking for it to break below, not like this right here. See how this candle is not touching opening price? This is what I would be looking for. So this is exactly what the setup, but it looks like it might just swing back up and touch it again. But this is the example of what we were looking for. So I'm probably not going to take this here, guys, because it's not going to be clear enough. Like it's going to keep touching opening price. It's not going to come down hard enough. Again, I need a big, strong candle. I need a strong candle to come down, fill, and come down from there. That's what I'd be looking for. But as of now, we just don't have that here right now. All right, so looks like we're gonna be waiting for the 200 mark, 710 right now, hoping some volatility picks up. The market's been a mess yesterday and today. It was kind of expected though because of the holiday. So there's a possible levels opportunity here, guys. Again, this is kind of a messy entry because I was looking for the bigger candle, but it just doesn't meet my criteria. I'm only taking entries that I'm very confident in, not very confident with these entries over here right now. Yeah, also Knicks at rollover. So there's a couple of things that happened this week, guys. It was Father's Day on Sunday. We had the rollover for the contract expiration on Monday. And then tomorrow we have Juneteenth. So it's basically like 3 holidays this week for the most part, or not holidays, but 3 events this week that are affecting the market. And this is typically normal for a holiday week anyways, usually for a long weekend. So for example, if the market was closed on Monday, this is typically how the market would move. So it's not really much of a difference. It's just a regular holiday week. So again, this is what I did not want to get caught in, right? I didn't want to get caught in price going sideways, and that's exactly what's happening here. For the levels entry, you want to get in and out very quickly. You want it to fill, you want it to drop, fill, come back down. But because the market here is going sideways, a lot of these directional strategies don't work very well, right? So like for the most part, I would be more inclined to take something like a a CV entry or a V1 variation if possible. But because there's no movement here, it makes it very difficult. So the levels is still technically running right now, it looks like. If anybody decided to take the entry here, this would be the levels. Just a messy entry. All right, so looking at the entries for today, let's just review what came up today. So we had 3 liquidity pushes that came up right here. These 3 hit. We had the PRB over here that hit full TP earlier this morning at 636. We had 2 CV entries, CV entry right here, CV entry right here, and then this right here is the levels entry. This is what we were looking to take, but because the market volatility is so low, we decided to sit out on it. I mean, it's probably going to hit, but it's in there it goes. So if you guys took the levels entry right there, it hit full TP. It's not a levels entry that I was really, well, I was looking to take it, but because of the low volatility, I decided not to. But we were looking at this from like way over here. So when this dropped down, we were looking to take it, but because price went sideways, we changed our mind and decided not to take it. But you guys can see entries are hitting. Depends on your risk appetite. If you guys are okay with taking risky entries, there was a bunch of entries that came up today. Some people here did make some pretty good profits. So we had David here locked in 105. We had Natasha, she locked in 335 on this account, 287 on this account, and 295 on this account as well. So pretty solid profits. And then William over here as well. So William locked in 260 per account. He has 20 accounts here. So well over 2,000 for the day. Nice work, William. So again, like, you guys can see here, there are entries that you guys can take. It's just up to your risk appetite. For me, I don't like taking risky entries. I only take the trades that I'm like absolutely sure are going to hit. I'm a very conservative trader. So even though there's entries coming up, I'll mark them up for you and I'll identify them and I'll tell you where they come up, but I'm not going to take all of them, of course. Well, I'm not going to take majority of them, of course. Maybe take 1 or 2 that are quality. So it looks like the volatility here might be picking up a little bit. If this is the case, this is great because we'll be looking for the 200 level here for the next level entry. So again, we'll be looking for that 200 level right here for us to take that level entry down below. We're running into a bunch of the earlier morning news over here. So we have the 5:30 high impact news, red book, which is at 5:55, 6:15 medium impact. All these pink lines right here are news from earlier this morning. We got one more news event at 7:30. It's the New York Fed Treasury purchases, 0 to 1 years. It's low impact, so we'll we'll see if that has an effect. Probably not. All right, nothing going on here. Price is currently at I believe this is a 1-minute support level. So we got the 1-minute support level down here. See, Nick mentioned divergence. Yeah, I probably wouldn't take that divergence because the trend is bearish now. If it was for a sell. I mean, if you take the divergence up here, Nick, this would have been solid too, but the trend was bullish at that time. That's one thing we haven't seen in a while, the divergence, right? So price pushed up right here. I mean, technically there was a divergence right here, but it was right at news. So it happened at 6:35 or 6:34. And it was touching opening price too. So the divergence here actually lined up with possible high-low scalp. We have a possible divergence right here as well. Well, it's not a clean one. Yeah, looking at the divergence right here, Nick, it's not really clean at all. So when the sell signal came up, it wasn't even diverged. Kind of just stayed flat. All right. So let's see if we get some movement here. Let's go up to the 5 minute. 5 minute looks like it could still be bearish. So you can see over here, price looks pretty bearish on the 5 minute. Looking at the 10. Yeah, so rejected directly off this here, double body rejection off the 10. So the 15 and 10 look sideways, obviously sideways right there. 5 looks like it was trying to be bearish, but now it's not. 1 minute looks like it's trying to climb back up. So looking at that multi-time frame analysis right there off the clean chart, you can kind of see here that the 1 minute is kind of, I mean, it looks like it's trying to climb back up. So if that's the case, I mean, that's fine too. Will the price climb back up? I'm just hoping it happens before it gets too late. All right, so we're swinging back up right here. Bunch of red flags in this area, so obviously no entries for us. Let's take a look at CNBC. No updated news here. See, we had CNBC over here update at 6:58. So at 6:58, it said S&P rises slightly as investors try to shake off weak retail sales data. So looking at that right there, the news was released at 6:58, and at 6:58, price came down. So they said that price was going up, it actually came down. Wasn't really breaking news, but it's a little update right there from CNBC, of course. So we got one last news event for today, low impact at 7:30. Retail sentiment is currently 55% short. Price is attempting to climb back up. It's trying to, but the volatility is just way too low. So looking at this right here on our clean chart, price is now within the range. There's a 5 minute. So looking at the 5 minute over here, looks like we might get a correction to the upside. 10 minute over here as well, 15, sideways, 30, pretty much straight flat. Back to the 1 minute. Yeah, this market's pretty flat. There's our clean levels chart. Ah, man, it's a frustrating market. Today and yesterday, it's frustrating market. Sideways, pretty much. I mean, the volatility here is not even there. You guys can see how dead it is. ATR is currently at 16. Was at like 25 earlier. Now it's just sitting around opening price. See, Max said went a little over his daily goal, but I'm done for the day. Staying and listening in though. Yeah, no, definitely that's solid. Just close your trading your trading panel and then continue to follow along. It's key. It's good to follow along because you can see how the market moves. You understand how the market's actually moving for the week, so that you can kind of anticipate what's to happen next for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Thursday, I guess. Yeah, exactly. This gives you more hints to show you how to adapt with the market. All right, so we got nothing going on here. As you guys can see from our main chart, candles are pretty much super flat. I was hoping it was going to continue dropping once we saw the bigger red candle here, but then it swung right back up. You guys can see that whenever price gets near opening price, it acts like a magnet, right? So this blue line right here is opening price, and it just acts as a magnet. Price will pull away for a little bit, pull back to it, pull away a little higher, pull back to it, lower, pull back to it, etc. All right, we're getting a nice red candle right here. Again, we're kind of aiming for the 200 level right here, right? Because I want price to drop down there, provide us opportunity for entry, and then maybe come down and retest the Asian low down here. So, I mean, there's still opportunity there for entry, but again, you just have to wait for it to come down here, which I think is the worst part because there's just no volatility. When price gets down to that lower point, there's going to be some more support levels down here. And then also on top of that, like what Rashida just said, there's liquidity down here too. So if price does climb below here, it's probably going to trigger our entry and then push right down to liquidity down below. So it's a great confluence right there. I typically use the liquidity points as confluences. I don't like to take them as standalones. I mean, a lot of people like to take them as pushes or like these entries over here, but for the most part, I use them as a confluence. All right, so price is finally climbing down a little bit. I'm just going to preset my order ticket to 200 right now, so I don't have to do it later. All right, so it's preset right now. Price is starting to come down a bit. So I will be watching around this level down here. It's in a bit of a messy area here with the news and the news prices. Then we got news over here at 7:30. I mean, it's a low impact, but it's I would never underestimate low impact news, guys, because that's what happened to me 2 weeks ago. If you guys remember 2 weeks ago, I took a trade, it was low impact news, price spiked the complete opposite way. It was unexpected. It was just basic gas stock change news, and it spiked the opposite way with no push at all. It literally just completely reversed. So don't underestimate low impact news, guys. Even if it's low impact, even if it's just like the Fed Treasury news, I would just be careful. Because I've been burnt that way and I'm not going to get burnt that way again. So we're too close to news here, so I'm not going to take it if it comes down right now. But if you guys want to take it, feel free. I'll mark it up for you guys. If it comes up, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take any unnecessary risk right now, of course. There's a CV entry right here again, guys. Not one that I would take because it's against the trend. Typically, when you take the CV, you have to go with the trend. It's just, common sense to go with the trend. But this is a CV pattern. For those of you who are looking for those CV patterns. There was a V1 variation that happened right here too. I don't know if anybody spotted it. There was a V1 variation, but it happened right at opening price. Double body rejection right there, pending sell signal, and it came straight down. So you guys can see here that there are entries to take. It's just up to your risk appetite. Like I said earlier, for me, I don't like taking risky trades. I like taking trades that I know for sure are going to hit. So I stick to my game plan. But it looks like the CV here would have hit against the trend. Yeah. Went against the trend, but it still hit. Right there. All right, we got 3 minutes till news. Over here at 7:30, we have the New York Fed Treasury purchases, 0 to 1 year. It's low impact. It's not really, it's probably not going to affect anything, but I'm going to be on the safe side, of course. The volatility here kind of flattened out again a bit. Probably going to stay flat until news over here at 7:30. Here's our clean chart. Price is actually in between the, it's within the 1 hour or 1 minute support right now, down below. So looking at this here, I mean, it looks like sells would be the option of direction right now because everything looked kind of bearish. The 1 minute, so 1 minute looks bearish, 5 minute looks bearish, 10 minute looks bearish, 30 minute is still bullish. The higher time frames are bullish, but the lower time frames are bearish right now. So 1, 5, and 10 bearish, 30 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour all bullish still. All right, it's waiting for the news here to pass. You know, it's not high impact, but still waiting for it. Preferably, I'd like the buy signal to come up, and then we can possibly catch the divergence and continuation back to the downside. So the buy signal here is actually fine. I want it to close because then if it does close, we can look for the V1 variation back down. All right, just waiting for that buy signal there. Here is our levels chart, clean levels chart. So we got about 15 seconds till news. Mark news real quick. All right, so we got news right there. This is 7:30. All right, so pretty much all the news is sitting in one area. Kind of unusual, right? They all just came back to where they were earlier, and they're just sitting in the same area right here. Looking at this here, the news obviously was just flat, didn't really affect the market too much. Let's see, Patricia said in a higher time frame bias, when an uptrend, the divergence on the lower lows are nice. Nice, yeah, especially out of imbalances. Yeah, I agree with you too, Patricia. It actually works really well. So like, I mean, something like, yeah, like this right here, like on the 10 minute, right? So you have a lower low, divergence happens right here on this candle, and then it swings up. You got a higher high right here, divergence happens right here, and it swings down. Yeah, it's actually really smart, Patricia. See, again, right here, you know, lower low. This is pre-market, of course, so it's kind of irrelevant, but that's a good observation to see. Like this was yesterday at 6:30, lower low, divergence happened right here. You can kind of just ride that up. Higher high, divergence. Obviously, I would go with the trend, of course, but yeah, no, it's good. It's something to look at. Like if you let's look on Friday over here. Higher high, divergence, it's pre-market. Higher high, divergence. Yeah, no, it works well. It's a good confluence to if you're like looking at a specific direction. All right, guys, so price is kind of just sitting right here down the middle again between the levels. So let's go to the levels again. You guys can see the consolidation is happening between the 250 and the 300 mark right here. So we got the 250, which is up here. We got the 300, which is down here, or 200, sorry, 200 and 250. So price is kind of just consolidating within these two levels right here. For me personally, I'm looking for this to come below here, but it's not really looking too great. This price is just consolidating down the side right here. Sideways. Down these two levels. Looking over here at our main chart. Again, I'm still looking for this buy signal to close to confirm the retracement. And then there we go. Perfect. So we got the buy signal right there. We can possibly look for a V1 variation if it ever comes out. Looks like price is coming up to that 250 level right there. I guess we'll see if we have a shift to the upside, but maybe, maybe not. All right, so it looks like this 200 level might not be useful to us after all. So you got price still pushing up right here. One thing I would look for is a CV entry or a V1 variation, or both. So this could be a possible CV entry right here. Yeah, exactly. Rashida said that's okay. We have the 350 mark for buys. Exactly right. So looking at this here, this could be a possible CV entry. I have to watch it though to make sure. All right, so the CV entry here looks like it probably, like again, I'd have to wait for the candle to close. Because if it pushes up at the last second, I'm not going to take it, of course. Or if it pushes down too heavy at the last second, I'm not going to take it, of course, as well. So watch me right here, and I'll take it.
Order filled.
There's a CV entry right there. I gotta watch it. I didn't get the errors on. I guess Ninja Traders fixed their issue, guys. So it looks like it's working
Order
now.
submitted.
So I'm just following it right here. Let's see, the TP is at 37. So I want to make sure it's lined up properly.
Order filled.
Full TP. I'm out, guys.
Order
So
filled.
waited all day for that entry, and there we go, CV. In and out. Got about 1,000 on that trade. Yeah, no slippage this time. I'm happy with that. Well, there's a little bit of slippage. I got 900 gross, which I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm off by like 100 bucks. But yeah, guys, so like I said, the CV entries work well in the sideways market. You can still trade in a sucky market like this where price is going sideways. You just have to wait for the entries. The entries will come to you. That CV entry played out perfect. It wasn't too big, wasn't too small, didn't swing up, didn't swing down. It was where it was. So CJ caught it, Sadie caught it, I caught it, of course. So I'll post the profits over here. Here are the profits from Max. So Max locked in 490 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts there. So 490 times 6. He locked in about 3,000 for the day, 2,940. Great work, Max. So solid profits right there. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I will add stats for the week so far. So this was a CV. For just 10 points on this one, not 15. Probably should have went for 15. I was like tempted to do the 15, but I don't know, with the low volatility, I just didn't want to risk it. So I went in for 10. Dylan said he got errors on Ninja. Did anybody else get an error on Ninja, guys? Mine was fine for today. I didn't get any errors at all. So not sure if anyone else is still getting errors. It looks like Dylan might have. So Nick said he got no errors. He's fine. You might want to update your Ninja Trader, maybe Dylan, or reset it. Or you might be on the wrong contract. Are you still on June? Because if you're on June, you might have gotten the error. We rolled over to September yesterday. I'm not sure if you rolled over because that might have been the problem too. Yeah, Rashida said gives the 200 mark also. I mean, it can still come down. We still got time, so the volatility is still okay. It's not great, but it's okay. That's weird, Dylan. Yeah, I'm not sure why you got the error. Did you get the same error as we were getting last week with the where it said it couldn't fill or something? Or not fill, like your TP stop loss. I wonder if you like have a new error. Hopefully not. All right, anyways, let me just put this in my profits for the day. Here's Kodi, guys. He always wants to be on my lap. I ordered Kodi a doggy office chair, so hopefully the chair will come up soon. Also watch his trade. All right, so let's see. Here are so there's no trades right now, guys. Everything is kind of flat for the moment. But here are my profits for the day. So I locked in 900 per account. These are my Apex accounts, the 300Ks. And then here are my new PA accounts, the 250, 250, my personal account, and my 100K account. So let's just add that up real quick. So 900 times 20 plus 450 plus 450 plus 460, my personal account, 270. So my profits for the day and the week so far are currently at, let's see, 19,630 for the day. And I don't know why Kodi gets on my lap and this dude just falls asleep. You guys should look at my camera. This dude just sleeping right now. All right, so they're my profits so far for the day and the week so far, guys. Back to the charts. There's not really too much here going on. The volatility is still very low. So if you guys want to continue trading in this area, you could look for V1 variations or CV entries. Those are probably the only things I can really recommend taking because I mean, that's all that's really there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for new opportunities here. If nothing happens in the next 10 minutes or so, we'll probably just wrap it up early. Especially if the volatility just gets lower. So like what Sadie just said right there, watch out for the ATR. It's currently at 15. It's now at 14. So overall market is just getting slower and slower. As you guys can see here. Which is fine. I mean, this is typical for a summer market. Again, you guys can see over here the fake outs that are happening outside these levels. So you guys can see how price pushed up above the 250 mark right here. That's where our CV entry came up and it faked out. So the thing that I would recommend is if you guys are looking for entries like CV entries or V1 variations and you don't care for the trend, just look for price to come below any of these levels and look for the fake out, right? Because the other CV entry happened right here. This was against the trend, but it was still a CV entry, right? There was a low with the red candle. This green candle right here was smaller than this, and then it reversed back up. So you could have taken a CV entry right here for a buy. Right? Again, right here, see how price came above? This was a high, small candle right there, CV entry for a sell. Like there's a lot of CV entries here that you can take. Again, it just depends on your risk appetite. For me personally, I trade with the trend, so that's why I took the sell here because price faked out to the upside and then it came down. And I mean, if there's enough volatility, you can even take the CV to the next level right here, you know, to the 200. So going back to our main chart over here, we're getting close to that 200 level, but as price gets close to news right here, it kind of fakes out. So you just want to be a little careful with this here. Like this is kind of what happened right here with this. This was a CV entry for a buy as well. Again, right there, same thing. So you guys can see how price is kind of just sitting within the range right here. So this is the range. I mean, it's been the range for a while. You guys can see it right here down the middle. Current range. Let's watch out for the fake outs on both ends. All right. So if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we will continue to, I guess, wait to see if this drops below the 200. Not looking like it, though. Looks like price is probably just going to keep consolidating within these two levels here. We have a pending buy signal here. So if this buy signal closes, we may have opportunity for another V1 variation or a CV entry. So we like the buy signals. We want the buy signals to come up. That's going to confirm the retracement. Once we confirm the retracement, there could be another opportunity there for it to come back down. Yeah, Rashida said it may wait like it did yesterday until after 11 o'clock her time, 8 o'clock my time. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens because the volatility is probably going to stay flat until then. But then again, that's my cutoff time. I was thinking about changing my trading hours like a little later or like taking a break and then coming back later. But I don't want to mess up my trading plan now because I already have something that works well. So we'll see if the market continues to do this and it's just flat in the morning. We might trade for like maybe the first hour and then maybe take a break, come back for second half. But again, that's just going to be a matter of time because the market's not always going to be this way. It's probably going to go back to how it was before eventually. But I think as of now, that's just the current market conditions right now. Market's kind of slow in the morning. It's fast the first hour and then it dies down and then it picks back up like around 8, 9. So, all right, guys, looking at this right here, I know she said we need a VIP session, right? Yeah, I know one of these days I just have to have a session where I just trade and I don't answer any questions and I kind of just go off my intuition because that's how I pass my challenges. So, or how I passed my challenges in the past, right? You guys would see me trade after hours, or I would trade after hours and post profits. I mean, it's doable. It's just I don't like being on the computer all day anymore. So we'll see if this is the case and the market's just pretty much flat until like 8 o'clock every day, then okay, maybe I'll do that. But right now, we just got to play it by ear. It's a holiday week, so this isn't something that that I'm expecting to be, a regular occurrence. I think this is just something that's going on this week, and then eventually we're going to be back into full swing. Because I think NFP is like in 2 weeks, right? So let me check the news calendar real quick. We got some high impact news on Thursday when we come back. We have continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims. We have PMI on Friday, inflation news. Next week, new home sales, goods trades balance, PCE price index. And then the week after that is NFP. 4th of July weekend. I forget if the market's closed on 4th of July. I'll have to double check that. Let's see. Yeah, the market's actually closed on 4th of July. Duh, of course, it's Independence Day. So that makes sense. That's gonna be crazy because so in 2 weeks we have 4th of July and then we have NFP the day after. So market's gonna be closed and then NFP happens on July 5th. We have a lot of there's just a lot of holidays coming up. So all right, guys, as you guys can see here, there's just not too much going on. I mean, price is just going sideways right here between the 250 and the 200 mark. Yeah, CJ said there's Kodi. Was wondering when he was gonna make an appearance. Yeah, this dude he comes on my lap to sleep. So I'm hoping his office chair gets built pretty soon. I got Kodi this custom office chair so he can sit next to me. So hopefully it'll be built by next month. But all right, guys, it's 750 right now or 748, about to be 750. There's nothing going on here, as you guys can see from the levels chart. So I think it's safe to just call it a day. If you guys have profits posted up, feel free to send them in. Here are my profits for the day and the week so far. I only took one trade for this week, so currently up 19,630 across all my accounts. These are all of my Apex 300Ks. These are my 250, 100K, and my personal account right here, which all my accounts copy to. So, I mean, that's about it for right now. Let's see if there's any more team profits. We got Jessica here with a total profit of 1,030 for the day. Nice work, Jessica. And I think that is about it. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here